Okay, it's a very close observation that he has made. So Darshan's question is, we know that when we declare a variable called as const, we are not able to reassign or redeclare the variable. But in array, if we use const, we can assign a new value. Const fruit is equal to mango and kiwi, fruit dot pop, and if you look at the value of fruit, it is basically mango, right? So this is a very keen observation that he has made. I hope you guys are able to understand the question. The question is, even though I declare a variable numbers, which is an array, as a const, I will still be able to perform operations on that particular array. Is this not coinciding with, colliding with the concept of const, which means that you cannot reassign the values? So here the value of my numbers was 10, 20, 30, and now I add 40 to my numbers array, and then when I check for it, I'll say node array.js. Now, is this not what, no, this is not what we expected const to do. It's a very good observation. It is a very close observation. How many of you had a similar kind of a doubt? I want you to do a +1. I want you to type +1. If you had observed this and you thought that, oh, how is this possible? Okay, so several people are there who have the same doubt in their mind. Okay, so let us take this up in two parts. Let us try to understand what the keyword const means. Const is a way of declaring a variable. Const is a keyword that we use for declaring a variable. Now, what are the characteristics of const? What const says is, if you declare a variable as a const, you cannot reassign any value, and you cannot redeclare another variable with the same name. Yes, I cannot reassign a value to it, and I cannot redeclare. Okay, let's spend some time understanding this keyword called as reassign. Now, what does reassign means? You have a variable that you've created. You want to give it a new value. Yes or no? Assignment is you use the equal sign. Reassignment meaning what? You already have the variable with you and you're trying to assign a completely new value to it. That is what reassignment means. So let us take an example. If I have a variable called a city and I'll set the value to be Bangalore, I cannot say city to be Mysore now. Why? Because here I've created the variable as const. I have assigned a value here and I'm trying to reassign the value here. So if I run the code, now it's kind of obvious that we get this particular error, assignment to a constant variable. Okay, so far so good. All of you are able to kind of make sense. Now the question becomes, how is that then? How is that then when we have a variable declared as an array, which has been declared as a const, we are able to make changes to it? Okay. Now this is completely acceptable. This is completely acceptable. Why is this acceptable? You can see at no point of time have we ever done a reassignment for our variable. What we have done is we have created a variable called as numbers, which is an array. Yes or no? That array contained the values of 10, 20 and 30. Now what we have done here is we want to push a value into an array. That means to say you already have an array. Inside that existing array, you're doing some kind of a modifications. So when I say inside that existing array, you're doing modifications, I mean to say you're either adding something, you're removing something, you're replacing a value. I would still call them to be modifications. Now, a modification to an existing array is not a reassignment of a value to a variable. So the reason why this is working is because within the same array, that is the numbers array, within the same numbers array, we are able to add a new item into it. Yes or no? Now, if we go back to this particular feature of a const coming to redeclaration, then if I try to do something like this, then I will be violating it. What? If I now try to do numbers is equal to a completely new array which has 10, 20, 30 and 40, right? Because this is a completely new array that I'm assigning. And then if I try to console.log of my numbers, I'll save the file, clear my terminal, let me run the code again. Now you can see that it says assignment to a constant variable. This is where we are truly reassigning a new value, a completely new value we are truly assigning to our variable called as numbers, which were declared as a const initially. Are you able to see this? I wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
type I do. Karthik, are you able to see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
Super. Other people participating, I want you to type I do. Okay. So that is the reason why, even though I've declared my variable as a constant, I'm still able to modify that particular variable because we are not breaking any rules. We are still following the rules of the const where I cannot reassign a value, but if I have an object, I can make any kind of a changes within that particular object. Now let me take this one step further and also speak to you about, if we have a variable declared as an object which has id is 1, name is Steve, city is Bangalore, though I've declared this particular object as a const, my question to you guys is this: can I say person is equal to id is 1 or id is 2, name is John? Can I do this? Yes or no? We cannot. Why? Because this is a complete reassignment of a new object to this variable that has been declared. But let me ask you this question: can I still update the value of the city property? Yes or no? We can. Yeah, I hope this answers your question. Super. Let me, why don't you stick with me, Darshan, because I'll take up your next question.
Okay, sir.
So the next question of Darshan, I hope this makes sense. I want you to type MS if this makes sense. Okay, super.